Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Najwa Salsabila dengan NIM 230510236.
Saya Diva Fardila Arsi dengan NIM 230510242.
Ini adalah tugas video kami mengenai wawancara pendidikan anti korupsi yang dosen pengampunya adalah Pak Ferdi Syaputra SHMH.
Selamat menonton.
Happy watching guys. I have a question about corruption. As we know, corruption is such a crucial and extraordinary crime in our status quo right now, especially in Indonesia. So, from your point of view, what is the definition of the corruption itself?
I think corruption can be defined as the act when someone's trying to take advantage of our nation's treasure to kind of just benefit themselves and in the process kind of hurt other people, and it's so detrimental to our economy and not just to our politics, and it should be eradicated as soon as possible.
Okay, good answer.
Well, corruption, huh? Well, for my opinion, corruption is, of course, a cheating of power, where people stole some parts of power or even the whole concept of it, power. Basically, unfairness of power. That is my definition.
Yes.
Ya, setidaknya ini merugikan banyak warga, terutama warga negara Indonesia ini kan. Kalau bisa, janganlah yang bukan haknya dipergunakan untuk kepentingan pribadinya. Kalau memang itu untuk kegunaan untuk umum, ya dipergunakan sebaik mungkin.
Menurut saya, sekarang kan korupsi di Indonesia kan sedang tinggi-tingginya. Jadi kita sebagai generasi muda harus mengerti dampak-dampak dari korupsi tersebut bisa merugikan negara kita sendiri.
So the main, one of the things that is so dangerous about corruption is probably corruption is a reoccurring thing. If it's not really, if we're not going to get rid of it as soon as possible, it'll keep happening and it will grow in our institution. And as we progress as society, we may not have a reputable institution because all of them are corrupt. So we have to get rid of it right now.
So like the risk, right? Okay. The risk of corruption. Well, there's a lot of it, but I guess I'll just list up the points of it, the most important points. So of course, for one, it's the unfairness of it. So people will have lack of trust, I guess, lack of trust from the people to common folks to the higher ups, to the leaders and other stuff. Because trust will be at risk. The second, of course, will be the country as a whole or system. The system will break completely down if there's corruption in it, if there's any sense of unfairness in it. And of course, finally, as we all know, people will get power. The money, power, basically almost the same. So if someone stole that power, especially in illegal way, of course we will lack that. So of course, that is my point, I guess. 3 points.
Nah Pak, jadi kan korupsi itu bahaya banget ya Pak. Terus apakah itu bisa dicegah Pak dari pemerintah sendiri?
Sebenarnya bisa. Ya itulah tadi dari dasarnya, kalau bisa para pemimpin itu yang betul-betul murni dipilih, bukan karena ada sesuatu ya, tanda kutip ya. Nah, jadi dia pun nanti saat terpilih bertugas, dia akan mengerjakan dan bertugas dengan secara murni, juga memikirkan hasil bagaimana saya dapat uang untuk membalikkan modal saya yang dulu. Nah, ya kan pasti kalau dia modal uang kan, pasti berpikirnya nanti balik uangnya dulu, bukan untuk mengerjakan kepentingan untuk masyarakatnya.
Dari kapan harus diajarkan tentang pendidikan korupsi? Diajarkan tentang korupsi itu sejak dari TK, SD, SMP, dan SMA.
One of the things that our government can do to eradicate or to prevent corruption is probably to make our law as high as possible. The supremacy of law needs to be studied and to be explored again, and people need to realize that corruption is a big thing, and there should be repercussion of corruptions, and the act of corruption should should be reprimanded by the highest kinds of sanctions.
I think the obvious way is for get more jobs. That is the simplest way. I think that if we have more jobs to people or more opportunity to everyone and on equal term without any insight, I guess it will help tremendously. So yeah.
Hukuman yang pantas itu hukuman seumur hidup. Karena hukuman seumur hidup itu akan memberikan efek jera dan juga dapat merehabilitasi para koruptor.
Jadi dia bisa menjalani hidup dia lebih baik lagi ke depannya setelah menjalani beberapa rehabilitasi.
Nah, kalau misalnya tindak pidana korupsi ini Pak, itu bagusnya dapat hukuman apa ya Pak?
Ya menurut saya seberat-beratnya lah, itu sama saja itu dengan pengkhianat ya. Nah, pengkhianat negara gitu. Ya kalau bisa jangan dikasih ampun lah. Hukuman mati nggak usah, pala hukuman mati, pokoknya seberat-beratnya lah gitu.
Well, I believe in the saying that an eye for an eye. So I think if someone did corrupt something, I think they should be able to get the kind of punishment. And also, I think there should be a social punishment for corruptors, because if they don't necessarily get ashamed of what they're doing, they're just gonna do it again in the future. So yeah.
Okay, so in terms of punishment, we can go back to my last, I guess, essay about corruption. The simplest answer would be the answer must be equal to my prevention, in which, because if there's no risk to it, people will be more bolder, more arrogant about it. That is why we need to have more risk for it. So I would say, this is a bold answer by the way, I would say the death punishment for it, or something of equal, so that people will fear it and people will say that the risk doesn't equal to the reward. Okay? That is
Thank you Daniel for the opportunity.